kind of piggybacking off the limited acceleration in the initial move. Now what we see is the arm comes up fairly early before coming back down to the ground with his front foot, right? So this is a kind of a breakdown that we see. And again, I know he's 13, and it kind of pains me sometimes to start thinking about this stuff, but like, just to give you the mechanics of it is, you know, if the arm or the hand gets up pretty early, now the trunk is going to start to rotate, okay, which now is going to limit our ability to separate our shoulders and our hips, which is a huge component to velocity, right? So if we can delay the hand from raising, then we can delay the trunk from rotating, and then the hips are rotating for Tate really well, right? They're going at a good time, but if we can just delay that more. Now, the progressions that I'm going to outline for you guys, and again, I'll just give you everything so like you can have it. And then if you want to go back to it when he's 16, 17, 18, like you have it. So the progressions that I'm going to outline are more focused on better hand path movements. So to kind of speak a little bit more on that is like, I don't want to really see the hand go behind the starting point, right? So you'll see that that's his initial separation. That's his starting point. And now you're going to notice that it goes back, right? I know that was kind of something that was taught, at least it was for me, like get to your balance point and then separate and go out. I don't like that. So what we see usually is I guess you can call it long arm hand path. But the way that I look at it is there's a lot of space to cover with that hand path, which will now be susceptible towards inconsistencies, right? So I would actually kind of think about, see that posture right there, how he's like at arm flexion. Check this out. Now we're getting saucy here. So watch our boy. Okay, because he's a long, kind of slender, lanky freaking guy too, right? So he separates long but down, and now as his arm raises, see how that flexion kind of stays in that path, right? And then it comes up at the time. So now we're seeing that shoulder be segmented from that hip, crazy amount of separation, on time hand raise, but the path of the hand was a lot more simple and, you know, very crisp. I don't know what the wordage would be, compact, for him to be consistent at release point. So if we have a lot of space to cover, a lot of ground to cover, there's more room for, you know, breakdown and inconsistent that now is inconsistent with the timing. So now the thing is I think the starting point for us, right? So actually on that subject, right? So see how it kind of goes out right there? All we're doing is cleaning up the hands. And then once we do that, kind of start increasing the tempo, or vice versa. We increase the tempo, which will then naturally decrease the space that the hands have to cover, because the body understands that, well, I got to get here at some point. So if we're increasing the initial tempo, then we better get going. So you're going to see a ton of stuff in the report, man. Let me know. Check it all out. Let me know if there's any questions whatsoever. But there's room that we can go, that as I mentioned in the email, like, let's just start moving in the right direction and start instilling really good patterns, and then let maturity take its course, right?